Hello everyone, once again you are welcome to GCL Tutorials. This is a platform where I teach you a lot of things concerning social studies and so many topics that have to do with socio-economic development, culture, lifestyle, and many more. On this channel, many students have contacted me concerning one area that had to do with the basic school syllabus, the junior high school, and it has to do with the financial and investment issues. I'm going to take you through the levels. We'll start with the basic 7, then we'll go into what is under basic 8 and under basic 9 as well. I want you to get your pen and pencils or your jotters ready and make important notes concerning the meaning of social security. Then we'll look at the types and also the benefits. So that's what I'll be focusing on. Then the part 2 of the video, I'll do that on what you have to learn when you get to the basic 8 or the year 2. I want you to follow me closely. If this is the first time you are watching me, you are here on the right channel. Just click on the subscription button and make sure you touch the bell. Anytime there's a new video, you also get access to it. But hey, make sure you are sharing with someone out there and let people also learn. After doing that, I think we can get into the discussion. I'm sure you are ready. All right, so this is what we are going to discuss: financial and investment issues. Every individual's life will always come in phases or stages, and it is very important for us to look at what we can provide for ourselves or have to take care of ourselves in times of need. So financial particularly has to do with money. An investment could be anything that you are investing, but yes, you are expecting the returns to be so high that you can use it to take care of something that will happen in the future. Now, talking about what will happen in the future, we have to understand that investment issues can be taken care of by an individual himself or herself, or there can be a program or a measure, or the society can also provide for that. Now, the International Labour Organization has stated clearly that there should be a social security whereby some kind of provision or protection will be made for people, especially workers, when they are no more in that strength or with that strength or ability or capacity to do or perform the work during their youth age or their youth period. They should be able to have something to support themselves. Then they can spend the rest of their lives before they die. You get it? So when issues like sickness, old age, retirement, and all these things come in, it's so much complicated that people will have to do something to take care of their lives. So we have to look at the areas where society comes in or the government comes in to provide social security. So we'll be looking at what states do, what societies do to provide social security. And that is what this area of investment issues is concerned. But before that, you should be able to understand or define social security, and you should also be able to know the various types. We'll highlight 3 major types, but I'll add 2 more. Yeah, so as I've stated, you should be able to explain social security. You should be able to state at least 4 types of the social security, and we'll also look at the benefits. So let's look at a few keywords. In the course of our discussion, we'll come across keywords such as social security. We'll have keywords such as pension, employer, employee, trust, trustee, lump sum, invalidity, scheme, and we'll look at superannuation. So these are some of the keywords that we'll be coming across. Others, yes, I'll try as much as possible to break them down. Now, what does social security mean? If you're asked to explain or tell someone what social security means, this term we keep using, what does it mean? So here we have it. There's a protection that the society gives, government can give, or the state can give to people who are working or people in a community, non-workers as well. The motive behind that is to ensure that the people are relieved, are taken from some kind of predicament, or are given some kind of support. This support is supposed to make them feel comfortable. Therefore, any pressure on them will be taken off. So when you look at it, it's actually a public measure. So some can call it a scheme, design. That's why you have a lot of health insurance scheme, something scheme, something scheme. So when you see scheme, it's just a public measure, it's just a program. So I told a group of students that when we have marking scheme, you know, when you write exams, there is a marking scheme used to mark everybody's script. It means that that has been designed, and that is the suggested answers over there are the answers they are going to use to mark or measure everybody's presentation. You get it? So with this, it's a public measure, and it is used to determine who needs what and who qualifies for a certain level of support or protection. So when you look at it, you realize that it's to provide income protection for its members in the event of certain occurrences. What are these occurrences? Now take note of these areas. So the old age, invalidity, sickness, death, all these ones come in. This will happen in a person's lifetime, and there must be a provision for that. It is also a state assistance. You can see that state assistance, state support, state help or aid. You get it? To those lacking in economic security and welfare. So welfare is checking people's well-being, taking care of people's well-being, making sure that people are not so much stranded. Because, when the level of poverty is very high, it's a threat to national security. You get that? Because a lot of agitations, a lot of people will not be happy with the condition that they are in, and they can, with a little anger or something that can spark it, they will just cause chaos or some form of confusion in the community or in the society. And that is what we must try as much as possible to prevent. So international organizations really believe in this kind of concept or this thing or program called social security, where they want every state to be very particular and critical about this issue, that people can be protected when they are in need. The main form of benefit provided under a social security package is therefore money. You see, money or healthcare. These are the key things. These are the key things. So if people are going through some form of economic challenges, economic problems, government can help them, can support them, help their businesses. Perhaps something has happened suddenly. We'll look at the types and you see where all these issues fall. The money or the income is to assist the beneficiary. Who are the beneficiaries? The people who are going to enjoy, the people who qualify for that protection or security, who as a result of total disability or sickness or old age cannot continue to work to earn a living. It's also important to note that Social Security replaces only part. Now, let's take note of this. Whatever is going to happen to the person, no one is actually saying that something should happen to the person. But you see, things can happen unexpectedly. And therefore, it is just something that they will use to cushion the person. So it's not to actually alleviate or take away the person's lifetime problems, okay, or lifetime problem, or all your worries. So this small money that will come from government or support that will come from government is to give you some grounds so you can put yourself back and get back to your normal position. Then you can continue with your life. So that is how the Social Security, the whole concept of our Social Security is handled or is carried out. Now, this is why Social Security is so much important. When you look at this, it's so important that it is considered essential for society. You see, the people, to ensure that its members, the people living there, the people who qualify to enjoy the protection and the security, you see, have it. Because of the pressure to provide for our income or our immediate needs, such as food, clothing, and shelter, very few people who, under normal circumstances, plan to set aside. It is difficult to set aside. There is pressure. When you come to middle-income countries, when you come to developing countries, there's so much on the minds of the people. There's so much hardship that the small earnings that the people have, they are actually spending it on basic needs, providing for their food, shelter, clothing, and other things. So it is difficult planning one's life. You get it? And they find it difficult to save, setting aside something for future use. So it's so difficult. So, but when organizations come in, when institutions come in, or agencies are in to make sure that part of a worker's income, or there are some programs they will specially design in order to take care of some future occurrences, then it means that those people can be relieved in times of that particular circumstance or in times of that need. That's why Social Security is so important. So every country plans this. Every society has planned for its members. When they need the support from the government, they need the protection from the government, government steps in to make sure that they are catered for. That is it. So the types will make it clearer. We'll get a better understanding when we analyze the types. We'll look at the three major types, and I'll add two more. Private and supplementary. I'll talk about those ones, but they'll show up somewhere and we'll have that discussion. Now look at the first one. We have welfare, we have contributory and non-contributory. So if you are asked to list the three major types of social security, don't forget these ones. If you are asked to add more, then you can add the private pension scheme and then the supplementary social security insurance scheme. We'll look at those ones. Now, let's see this one. In a welfare scheme, what happens? The state provides income out of general taxation. General taxation. So the taxes that people pay, because we are living in a state, we are living in a country, you live in a society, and you are a taxpayer, whether average taxpayer or what, a taxpayer is a taxpayer. So because you are paying taxes, it is deemed that you deserve some form of what? Protection. Now, when the need arises, government will have to step in and provide for these people. They deserve to enjoy a welfare scheme. A welfare scheme normally provides for the what? Vulnerable groups. Vulnerable groups. It could be the physically challenged people. It could be people who have gone through so much hardship. It could be the sick. Some drugs or medicine that they have to buy. Government will say, okay, we are paying a percentage of this to take away the cost. So the sick people wouldn't have to pay a huge sum of amount for their medical bills. So that can be welfare generally. Contributory. If you have heard about the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, contributory, you look at it, it falls under this place. What happens here is that this contributors, mostly they are workers. So contributors have a right to benefit by the mere fact that they are contributors and they satisfy the qualifying conditions. So they are paid salaries as they work, and their employer takes some amount of money from the salaries that are paid them. There's a percentage, and we'll look at all those ones when we get to the year 9 aspect, and we'll get into SNIT itself, look at the pension scheme itself. But we will not talk about, we are just discussing to get a proper understanding of the social security and know the basics in the foundation, then we can build on it. So you see, the members are paid benefits out of the pool of funds they have what? Contributed. So this one, there's a pool of funds. This one, there is no money anywhere. It's just that the people are taxpayers. That is why government is providing some form of welfare, you get it, to take care of them, the vulnerable. Here, people are contributors, mostly workers, and there's a time they will be due for it. So the amount of money they have contributed per what the employer is deducting from their salaries, that percentage given to a company or an institution or a pension manager to keep for them. When they go on retirement, they will enjoy it. That's a pool of funds they will enjoy. So look at the non-contributory. It's just the direct opposite of the what? The B, non-contributory. You don't have to contribute anything to enjoy this particular scheme. You get it. So here, the citizens may be entitled to income protection as a result of what? Certain occurrences in life. Maybe there's been a natural disaster. The people have experienced some form of pandemic, let's say like COVID-19, and then there is some form of alleviation programs that come in, and then relief programs also come in, so to make sure that these people are catered for, to take some pressure or hardship off their hands or their heads, and then they can be able to set themselves back into normal life. So that is the non-contributory. So these are the three major types. We have the supplementary one. Supplementary, so you know in mathematics, supplementary, additional. Okay, supplementary angles. This plus this equals 180. So to supplement something is to add up, because a person has served in an institution for a period. So an income or something can be added up to take care of the person's future. It can be an investment for the person. So people do it, companies do it, employers do it for their workers. Government can also do it for some specific workers. like people who have served in public or high offices, and they can also do it for the security agencies too as well. And we have the private one. Private schemes, yes, we can talk about insurance companies, it's private. We can also talk about the ones that we have in various companies, institutions. So welfare institutions can come together to do something just to take care of somebody. So these are the the three major types, and then I've added the supplementary scheme and then the private scheme, making it 5. This will also help you to get more points, talking about the types of social security. Now let's look at the case of Ghana. So who provides social security? We'll look at this. Providers of social security. Focus on the highlighted one, the red one. You don't need to write the whole thing. No, that's one. The Social Security and National Insurance Trust, yes, SNIT, can provide social security. So that is where they operate based on the contributions that workers, you see, workers have paid. And their employers take that from their salaries. And the percentage is given to SNIT, and SNIT is supposed to manage it. How SNIT manages all that and the percentages, we'll get into detail when we look at my next video. So look at that. The government as an employer can also do that. So the people who work in certain public offices, special people, security agencies, judges, and some pensionable officers in the public service, these people can enjoy some form of protection from government as an employer. Look at this one. Employers, private employers can also have a supplementary retirement income scheme for their employees. So you work in a company and yes, you are contributing to SNIT, or you are going on retirement in that company. Apart from what you enjoy from the pool of funds that SNIT have kept or has kept for you, you can still enjoy something from your employer. You get it? So as you are going, apart from what they do call sending off and all those ones, yes, the employer can have a design. Maybe it's put or placed in the or documented in the terms of conditions. So you are aware that when you are going on retirement or something happens to you in that organization and you are leaving on a good note, this is what you enjoy. So the employer can add that to your security or social security, and it's supposed to give you some form of protection or cushion you as you are leaving that phase or field of work. See, insurance companies, I just spoke about them. So they can also provide social security in Ghana. These people, yes, we know when a sudden occurrence, they can step in and provide accident, ill health, and so many things. So we have a lot of these companies. Gemini Life Insurance Company, we have Insia Insurance, we have Enterprise Insurance, a lot of them, Prudential Insurance, they are all the huge companies. They are also try as much as possible to offer pension, you see, personal pension scheme to individuals. The personal pension schemes are fully funded and managed privately. So I did mention that insurance companies can fall under the private scheme. So that is the understanding. I believe you are getting this step by step. So we now know who can provide social security in Ghana. Therefore, let's look at the technical areas in terms of the benefits. So look at the categories of benefits someone can enjoy. So one benefit is the superannuation, old age pension. This can be so superannuation can be grouped into 2. So you can have this as a point. You can also have this as a point on its own. You see what we have over there. When the person is at least 60 years, so 60 years retirement age, that's in Ghana here. So when you look at the SNIT document, they have stated that clearly. And you must have made a minimum a contribution of 180 months, 15 years aggregate contribution. So that is the concept. So look at that, and then you will calculate based on the number of months you have contributed, and it should be a minimum of what, 180 months, and they look at your best contribution at a point in time, and they will measure that. They have their own calculation. When we go into the SNIT area, we'll see some tables they are provided and how they use a pension right or some percentages to do or make those calculations. But what you have to know is that if somebody is part of a social security program. These are the benefits the person will enjoy. So you state that the person will enjoy a superannuation pension, which is grouped into what? Old age pension or reduced pension. If the person goes on retirement at age 60, the person can benefit based on the number of months the person has contributed. Two, if the person is 55, the person can also apply for what? A reduced pension. So 55, but below 60. So age 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, you can apply for reduced pension. So in this case, why is the person applying for reduced pension? So we have cases where something has happened to the person to the point that he cannot stay and work for the next 5 years. That's from that age 55 to the 60. And the person has become incapacitated to perform or continue with the work. And if you have the right medical report, then you have to just submit that as invalidity, and you cannot go on blah blah blah. There is a professional or medical doctor that will back or have a report to prove that indeed you can't continue with that work. And if you are 55, you qualify for that reduced pension. So reduced pension, your calculation here will be different from what they will use for this, because this person has stayed to 60 and the person will enjoy full pension, but this person will enjoy a reduced pension. This is one area I have to look at, or one of the benefits. Now let's see another benefit. This is the invalidity pension. Something suddenly happens to the person as being incapable of what? Normal gainful employment. Being incapable. This is the area you have to know. The person is being incapable or is incapable of any normal gainful employment due to a permanent physical, mental disability. So this can make the person enjoy invalidity pension. So invalidity pension is paid manually to such a person who has been confirmed and certified incapable of earning an income. So that is what a person can also enjoy under social security. So we are looking at the benefits of social security. And I think it's good because sometimes you might not be or have enough there as your savings to take care of some of these sudden occurrences. So this can be a way to cushion the person or take some form of hardship. Then interestingly, there's a survivor's lump sum. This is paid to the dependents or members under the following. So look at it. Two key things to note over here. Survivor's lump sum. Lump sum is the money paid at once. This one is given to you. It's not given to you monthly. What status must you assume to enjoy the survivor's lump sum? So when a member dies before retirement, or when a pensioner dies before age 75. This is the pensioner, the one who contributed. So contributed and then age 60 went on retirement. From that 60, you'll be given monthly till age 75. You get it? But in the case where the person, the pensioner or the contributor or the beneficiary who is enjoying the pool of contributions that he had made dies before age 75, what happened? The rest of the money will be calculated and put together and be given or paid at once. That is lump sum. So it can be given to the persons, their names they write when you are filling in those forms and who is to enjoy. If the person could be next of kin or something. So normally they put people's name over there. So the money will be given to such person. So when a member dies before retirement or the pensioner dies before age 75. So that is what happens. So this will be given to the dependents. So the dependents will enjoy. The dependents are the survivors. So they enjoy that money that is paid at once. And that money paid at once is what we call lump sum. And the one enjoying it is the survivor. Why? Because the beneficiary or the right beneficiary or the pensioner or the one who contributed had died. This is one of the benefits. I believe you get this point. Don't worry yourself about the computation. That is done by Smith. So we'll look at those ones in our subsequent discussions. Then interestingly, immigration benefit. So the immigration benefit is a lump sum. This one too is paid at once. But under what condition is this paid? Payment of benefits to non-Ghanaian members of the Social Security Scheme. Non-Ghanaian members. Under the Act, so the Act 766 is a pension act we are using currently. We'll go into that in our subsequent discussion. That's for another time. Whose services are ended and are leaving Ghana permanently. So non-Ghanaian members, people have come to this country, they are working. Don't think that it's only people, all those workers here in this country are Ghanaians. Some have come here and they have worked for companies owned by Ghanaians, and some also work for foreign companies. And these companies pay their social security. If they are leaving the country permanently after their services in these companies in Ghana, the fund management, let's say SNIT, will have to give them their immigration benefits. So they are leaving the country for good. They are done with their services here. They are not going to continue working for the company outside Ghana or something. So they provide the appropriate documents, and the money that they have, the employer has given to SNIT to be kept on their behalf as their retirement benefit or whatever benefit will be given to them at once, and that's immigration lump sum. Yes, so I believe you get this point. So I believe you enjoyed this lesson, and I want you to share your ideas in the comment section. I'm sure you would have even more you have learned elsewhere to add up, and I always welcome those your views. I will come your way with another part 2, where I'll talk about the employer and the employee, what the employer must do, what the employee must also do as far as the pension scheme is concerned, also under financial and investment issues. Keep watching JCL tutorials, and don't leave without subscribing if you have not done that. Share this particular video, and I'll be coming your way with more interesting lessons. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.